Let's go back in the past of Omega, back to 1957, when Omega presented a Seamaster that had a 300 between the center of the watch and 6 o'clock. It's a watch that should have been waterproof to 300 meters, but they had to declare it at 200 meters because there was no tooling capable to measure the waterproofness at 300 meters. They tested the watch in the lake, so they knew it would go at 300. And this watch had a particular bezel that you find on Planet Ocean, and they had also a hand like the hand with the broad arrow. So when we did the Planet Ocean in 2004, of course, as I explained to you yesterday, we want always on our product to have something from the past of DNA of Omega. And 2011, we presented at Basel 46 Planet Ocean, a complete collection with some adaptation of the model presented 7 years before. First of all the 46 watches are manufactured Omega movements, meaning that they have all the coaxial, but they have also all the silicone hairspring. And as novelty in movements, we present the chronograph 9300, that is a chronograph with column wheel, coaxial, and also silicone hairspring, that is completely done with the newest technology. Meaning with all these coaxial, column wheel or silicone hairspring being on all the models now, we offer to the end consumer 4-year warranty. So you are going to tell me you are totally crazy to come with a new chronograph on the market with 4-year warranty. So how do you do that? How can you be sure that it works? We started the project from scratch in 2005. It was Papa Hayek who asked us, who asked me to do the best performing and the most beautiful chronograph movement in the world. So of course, it's a little bit, how you say that? I don't find my word now. It's a little bit, like this to say.
C'est pas en français?
Ouais, il était, c'est un peu vraiment ambitieux de dire ça. Hein? I forgot one word that is very important. He added industrialized. Because doing a movement, you can do a new movement more or less, let's say in 18 months to 24 months. You can do that. But how many movements are you going to do? 100, 500,000? Okay. The objective of a chronograph, a new chronograph would be to do one day 50, 70, 100,000 movements. And that's why he said the best performing in the most beautiful movement industry. And I think we achieved it because the movement is running since 2 years. We had small adjustment to do, like on every new product. The product has been homologated 9 months ago. And this product that was promised at Basel for June 2011 will come on the market in June 2011. It's under production. So the complete range of products, these 43 on these 46 models, there will be 42 coming out in June 2011. Maybe I will not say worldwide, because of course being present in all the world, maybe on some markets we will come later on. Okay? 4 products will not come. It's the titanium models that have a bezel in blue. Well, see the blue bezel here, or here. Because the blue bezel in ceramic has liquid metal. So liquid metal is an amorphous alloy of metal that alloys things that you cannot do with normal metal, with crystalline metal. For instance, it has an elasticity that is absolutely fabulous, and it has a fusion point that is much below the other metals. Okay, so I will explain you why. So we do the bezel. Here in the bezel, the ring is in ceramic. After we come and we engrave with laser the scale and the numbers. Okay? And afterwards we come and pour, we polish of course the ceramic, and we pour the alloy, amorphous alloy of metal, the liquid metal, in the holes. And after we come and we satin the ceramic. And the result is the alloy of liquid metal being smoother than the ceramic, it will not destroy the ceramic. So you have the satin brush effect of the numbers and the scale and the polished on the ceramic. So this model will come a little bit later because the liquid metal technology is not 100% industrialized today. It will come one day, but today we are still delivering few models, few numbers. Okay. So we have on Planet Ocean, I told you, we have black ceramic, not with liquid metal. We have the white ceramic that you will see in another place because my friend took me the watch to put in a window before. Hello.
No,
I have to say something on you.
Okay. Say a good thing.
And unfortunately, on the orange version, we still have aluminium, as we had on the 2004 version, because today the ceramic in orange is not nice enough. The ceramic turns in beige a little bit, or light brown color. So we have also some gold version, special with diamonds, and the gold version with gold bezel and ceramic will come, particularly for Gent, will come next year. Why? Because we're also using a new technology that will be patented by Omega. It's ceramic with that will also engrave with laser, and we will add gold inside. How? I don't tell you, because it's patented, and it's not 100% today. But this is the future. Coming back on the movements, all the watches have a sapphire case back. So this is quite a. We had to work hard on it because the watch is waterproof to 600 meters. And it would have been better to have a plain case back with our seahorse, but we wanted to show our movements because, as I said, all are manufactured, and particularly to show the new chronograph. So this new chronograph, and you see immediately the chronograph has 2 subdials, not 3. And on the subdial at 3 o'clock, there's a hair here. Okay. On the subdial at 3 o'clock, you have 2 hands. Huh? You have 2 hands, you have the hour recorder hand and the minute recorder hand. So it gives you an instant view of the timekeeping. Here you can say immediately you are registering time since 2 hours. Huh? More or less. 2 hours. So the scale, of course, is on 12 hours. But this, having a 12-hour scale and having the 2 hands on the same dial allows you to have a second time zone. And a second time zone, I will do you a demonstration. Say I put the watch at 12 o'clock. Okay, and I will put my chronograph at 12. Voila. And I'm here in Capri with you, and I go to Shanghai tonight. Okay, so I will put here. I will jump the hours on 6. Okay, so I can move my hand on an hour jump. Okay, put it at 6, and I start my chronograph. And when I will arrive in Shanghai, I will have local time on my watch, and on my chronograph, I will have the time of Capri.
And that doesn't stop the time is constant running while you're changing.
Exactly, yes. Of course, this is also, yes, you saw that I changed the hour hand,
Yeah.
but the watch was still running, so you don't lose the precision of the watch.
So the chronograph doesn't affect the time when they set the time. The chronograph doesn't stop.
No. The chronograph doesn't stop, and the time also doesn't stop. The second of the watch is still running.
Right.
Okay.
I have a question about the transparent caseback. Is it still being protected against magnetism because of the use of silicon?
Yeah, you know the things. Of course, the use of silicone helps the anti-magnetism. And we had, with the material used, as it's a new technology, we have no problem with the. Of course, now if you would go to a field where the magnetic will be very, very heavy, it could affect the watch, but it would affect any watch in this case. So certainly that anti-magnetic, because we are using more and more of this electronical product, is maybe the next step of development. Of course, we are working on that too.
Okay. Thank you.
I have a question. You're talking about the development of the 8500 and 9300 movement and how they're the best, and they can also be industrialized. Are there interesting types of tests that you've put them through, or you put them through, that would be interesting to people that want to know about how durable they are and how good they are and the performance?
Listen, I don't know if we give the results of the tests we are doing, but I think the best thing to do is you have some newspaper or magazines that are specialized in watches, that are testing the watches. Okay. And I've just sent 2 watches, 2 chronographs, one Speedmaster and one Planet Ocean, to a magazine that will analyze the watches. And I said, okay. I took 2 of the prototypes I had in Basel, saying to them, listen, they are still prototypes. They are not a watch that is going to be sold in the market, but you can test the watch. So I think the best result as answer given to you is that you could take now this watch going back home and test it if you have the toolings to test the watch.
Okay.
Because we are sure making these homologations and making, I told you the movement was ready 2 years ago. We had the tests on watches that are, it was also a Planet Ocean, but with a dial that was quite totally black, had no hour markers. So people, they didn't want so much to wear it, but it was because it was not so nice, but they wore it. And we had some correction to do as on any chronograph, but I told you, we launched it as scheduled in June.
What will the consumer, in your mind, what is the consumer story with this watch? For example, the orange watch doesn't look terribly different to the model that came out a few years back, and in fact that I'm wearing. Is the expense of going to this exercise because it was deemed a big improvement, would make a big difference to the consumer, or was it that in watches anyway you have to keep making advances in order to keep the consumer interested? I'm just curious because I haven't heard consumers say to me, we really like the Planet Ocean, but we wish it had the chronograph dial with the hour and second hand, or we wish it had a sapphire back, or we have an accuracy problem. I've never heard of that. So I'm wondering what was in your mind.
On your model, there was.
Yeah.
Listen, I think, of course, we're also listening what to the consumer says, but there is an evolution in the technology, an evolution in the product, an evolution with material, and we had this new technology in the movements. So we said, okay, we have to make now, because the investment was done for the movements, first for the 8500, for the 8500 penny, and now for the chronograph.
So
We have to go. We have to go into this. And one day, okay, I tell you, in Basel Fair, we presented 160 watches. These 160 watches, not one was, how you say, stopped after Basel. On the 160 watches, 156 were mechanical, had mechanical movements.
Yep.
155 had the coaxial escape. One had not, was the Moon watch. That's the limited edition we had in this year. And on 155 watches with coaxial escapement, 140 were of the generation of the movements that are here, of the manufacturer. So this is the future
So it's
for
taking
me.
over.
So you will see maybe in, I would say 2 years, 3 years, only coaxial movements, except the Moon watch. It's the Moon watch. And quartz movement for some ladies' watch.
So, for the consumer, is the benefit therefore that the original promise of the coaxial to take less servicing, to be a little bit more accurate, that is improved a little bit?
Yeah.
And the other two advantages would be the chronograph operating like a little clock, and
Yes.
and the hour hand that you can alter without changing the time.
I think there are not only these. It's also the let's say the improvement of the accuracy of the. Here you have over 60 hours of power reserve. Okay.
Up from 40,
48. You have over 60, but with an accuracy, it remains stable. If you're at 52 hours, the watch runs like after 1 hour.
So
And
it's-
this
so
is
you-
very
you
important.
Flattened the graph.
Yes, exactly. And this is extremely important because most of the watches that give you 10 days of power reserve, 10 days,
Yes,
fantastic.
but the graph goes to.
Look to the watch after two days, how it works.
Have you compared this movement, for example, with Seiko's spring drive movement with the Spron 590?
No, we didn't.
Because they too have flattened it. But
So I can
this-
still
how-
give you a number.
Yeah.
The investment of the new chronograph in development and production line is over 100 million Swiss francs.
so has that now been matched by the marketing investment in bringing us all here?
Exactly. And if we could spend 1 million Swiss francs being in Capri, I think we could stay 1 year. I think it would be great for us. But no.
Are you? How many watches are you aware of that have this chronograph sub-dial? I'm aware that IWC did it with the Da Vinci watch, didn't
They had that, yes, but with
but
the
I can't
chronograph
think of
like this.
anyone else. Yeah.
They had it. I don't know if the function is the same.
Very,
I don't think they have the
hand
outer
that's-
hand.
No, I don't think so.
They don't have it. But of course, when we started the idea, it was, as I told you, in 2005.
Yeah.
The Da Vinci with 2 counters was not on the market.
Yeah.
But I think
That's right.
you have other companies that have 2. You have
I'm not
Tudor
familiar.
has one now, Breitling has one. with two counters. But two counters, okay, it's quite easy. But two hands is different.
Yeah, two hands very different.
And it lets you also the two counters, a two counters chronograph. You have still space.
It's
At
clearer.
At 6 o'clock. At 6
Yeah,
o'clock,
I
you
know.
put something else.
It breathes better, in my opinion.
But you might add something at 6 o'clock one day.
What do you mean you will?
So this, maybe we do an event in, we do Capri 2, I don't know.